here, and today we're in the kitchen. So today I'm dealing with some of the garlic that we harvested in the last video. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a little tab up here for you so you can go and watch us harvest that. So today what I'm doing is I'm dealing with my elephant garlic and my elephant toes, and I'm turning them into garlic powder. Okay guys, so on this board in front of me, I've got a couple of things going on, but I thought I'd give you a close-up of what I'm doing so you have a better understanding and it doesn't just look so weird from a distance. So this is just a stem from the Egyptian pink garlic. I'm keeping it to dry it out to go into garlic powder with the remains of this. I have got elephant toes, which I have peeled back and cut the stem off. I've just put them in this bowl. Once I've completed trimming back all my garlic, I will give it all a rinse together, and then I will cut it up and put it on the trays for dehydrating. Over here I've got my elephant garlic cloves, and essentially all that I'm doing is taking the top part of this, grabbing the dry leaves and pulling them all the way down. Then the greener part of the stem, once I've trimmed off the slightly less desirable edges, I will put in the bowl to dry there. So this is my current process. I have my bulbs with my roots and the leaves that are wilting. So I'm just going to take a couple of these outside leaves and peel them back all the way to the roots. And that essentially just leaves us with a nice clean clove to work with. And then I come around with my little knife and I cut it off just underneath the roots, leaving my stem bare. And then when I get to the leaves that are less desirable, I cut those off, and then that leaves me with an entire part of the plant that I'm going to be using to make garlic powder. As you can see, I've got like my whole setup in front of me. I've got the garlic that I'm going to be chopping. As I chop it, I will move it over onto the tray that it'll be dehydrating onto. So I guess now I just have to get it done. So what I intend to do is to simply just slice my garlic down the center and cut it into pieces. Now I could just as easily freeze this as is, or once I've cut it, but I feel like the garlic powder will have a greater shelf life, and since we do experience load shedding every now and again, it's just an extra level of food security. If the power goes off for a significant amount of days and I'm unable to keep my things frozen, at least I know by dehydrating it that I'm not losing my entire crop or yield. And since these were pulled a little bit earlier, they don't have the same shelf life as the Egyptian pink garlic does. So I want to use them before they go off. I don't want to be wasteful. I took the time to grow this food, and I'll take the time to preserve it so that when the time comes, we can enjoy our harvest. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but I thought let me attempt to show you. This is very reminiscent of a leek, and the reason I say that is because you can actually see the different layers of this bulb, if you will. So since I do want to try this elephant garlic in a true garlic fashion, I'm just keeping this one particular clove that I've cut up in this little Tupperware, and now we have some freshly chopped homegrown garlic ready for use whenever we need it. For the remainder of these, I'm just going to cut them up and add them to our garlic powder. So this is what we've ended up with. I'd say a pretty decent layer of garlic here, and then this will go into my DIY dehydrator. It doesn't have a heating element, so it just air dries it. But I do have 2 more shelves, and I have a few things in the garden I need to harvest. Guys, so I've come out to the garden just to do a quick harvest. I've already gone through these containers over here behind me, and I've picked as much parsley as I can, but I'm going to carry on with the rest of the herbs. So come along with me, let's see what we can harvest. So I'm currently under this citronella plant, and we have an abundance of thyme here. So I'm just going to give it a good haircut and add it to our basket. Dehydrate this calendula. I'll save the flowers and dry those too. And the last thing I'm going to grab while I'm here is just a little bit of sage. A couple of spring onions. I am cutting these down quite significantly because Duncan is going to come through here and spray our garden, and I always like to harvest before he does that. Hey guys, so since we're out here in the garden, I thought I'd just quickly show you how our potatoes are doing. So let's take a look. Right guys, so I know it doesn't look like much, but look here. We have some potatoes coming up, so that's pretty cool. I mean, considering we put these in the ground not too long ago, I'm quite excited. Hopefully we'll have some potatoes, maybe even in time for Christmas. I just figured since I've given you an update on the potatoes, I should potentially give you an update on the seeds as well. So these are our seeds going at the moment, and soon some of them will be going out into the ground. Our golden zucchinis are nearly ready, and so are our gem squash. They're on their second set of true leaves. That's their actual plant leaves, not the ones that they've sprouted with. You could actually remove these, but we're going to leave them. And soon these guys will be up potted into their final homes. Then over here we did get a loofah that came up, as well as 2 spun specks, but they got attacked by the chickens. They took off the other leaves, so we're not sure if they're going to make it. And then we've got all our little tomatoes. They're all doing really, really well. A cucumber. We even got a butterfly pea. It's just struggling to come out of its shell. And we're currently under water restrictions, so we can only water from 6 o'clock at night until 6 in the morning. So the things are looking a little bit dry, but we are doing our best. That being said, look how gorgeous the roses look. They are in full bloom, and it's just super pleasant to have them. Okay guys, so we've got our load of herbs here, and we can take them in and we can process them and shelter from the wind a little. What I'm going to do now with all these herbs is I'm going to put them in the basin and give them a good wash. So we've got some spring onions, some sage, some parsley, some thyme, and some oregano. Oregano? I don't know. So obviously these are real herbs from the garden, and they do come in dirty. They are covered in dust at the moment. So it is just good practice to give them a good rinse before you actually dehydrate them, else your mixed herbs are going to be gritty. So now that we've harvested all of this and we've given it a good clean, I'm going to strip it and put it on its own shelf in the dehydrator, and we're going to make some mixed herbs. Right, so just like that, we've got our second tray ready. Tray of parsley. Next up, mixed herbs. These are going to be ground up slightly, so they don't have to be perfect. Just naturally, if you do uniform your shape and your size, you get a more even dry. Any of the stalks that I have left over, I will save and give to the chickens. They do really appreciate the snacks, especially since they spend most of their time trying to break into my garden to get them. As for the remainder of these herbs, I'm just going to take my scissors and chop them up. I guess I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me today in the kitchen, as I got a few small chores done. I hope this helped you or inspired you in your kitchen and from your garden.